By law, active construction sites must be inspected to ensure no sediment or other pollutants are in the stormwater runoff leaving the site. Inspections are not only expected from a regulatory perspective, but also by the permittee's trained individual as a means to manage the project site for stormwater. These laws, required by the Clean Air and Water Act, National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System or NPDES permitting program, vary and are implemented at the local, state, and federal level. Inspectors must look for adequate erosion and sediment control, waste management, and stormwater quantity runoff management as they apply to each site. Please keep in mind that no two sites are alike. This video will show the basic elements that should be included with every active construction site stormwater quality inspection and what should occur before and after the inspection. Find out who is the stormwater quality permitting authority for the site. Is it under city, county, university, state, federal, or other jurisdiction? Know the ordinance, NPDES or IAC. Keep an electronic copy with you for reference. Obtain copies of any permit documents that will indicate what type of project it is, how large the project site is, and who the responsible parties are. Also check the requirements to find out if a specific inspector's certification and/or license is required, such as the Certified Erosion, Sediment, and Stormwater Inspector or CESY. Develop and print copies, or load onto an electronic device, site inspection forms that are based on applicable jurisdictional requirements. Plan on using a clipboard or your electronic device. Familiarize yourself with the Stormwater Pollution Prevention Plan or SWIP, outfalls, point of discharge, and best management practices or BMPs for the present stage of active construction. For example, excavation, soil export, soil import, landscaping, grading, or inactive. Keep a copy with BMPs highlighted or GPS'd. Keep in mind that the SWIP is a living document and that modifications to the plan may occur throughout the construction project, including the use of additional and/or alternative measures. Obtain the necessary personal protective equipment needed to enter the site. Plan on walking the site to conduct your inspection. Effective inspections cannot be completed from a vehicle. Obtain and carry any necessary credentials or identification to enter the site and prove your identification and affiliation. Upon arrival, check in at the job site trailer or office. Introduce yourself, announcing your presence on site. Explain why you are there, who you represent, and which law, ordinance, or other requirements apply that you will be checking compliance with and enforcing. Respect the posted rules. Walk the site with the persons responsible for maintaining the site compliance and the BMPs if available. Keep in mind that the inspector should direct the inspection and not rely on the on-site personnel to guide the route and the areas observed. Site inspections can be a great educational, training opportunity, so encourage these staff members to accompany you. Ask if a rain gauge is on site. Check self-monitoring reports to verify they include rain gauge information. Begin at outfall areas and work your way back. Inspect during or directly after storm events if possible. Check each BMP for implementation and installation, proper maintenance, and efficiency or performance. Is each BMP on the site in the same location as indicated on the SWIP? If a particular type of BMP was installed correctly and is not performing as expected, then the site representatives may need to go back to the SWIP designer for other BMP choices. Photo document BMPs, both good and bad. Photo document any other problems or good practices. Make sure date and time settings are correct or consider using small, dry erase board and shots. Include a point of reference. All storm drain close-ups look the same. Please note, for the purpose of this overview video, we will not be able to cover all of the details and specifications that you should be aware of that pertain to each type of active construction BMP. Inspectors should be familiar with BMP standards that apply in the jurisdiction where the site is located. Several entities have their own technical design and performance standards manual. These types of manuals typically contain information on BMP-specific items such as BMP purpose, use, composition, limitations, effective life, installation, and maintenance. Inspectors typically carry some type of reference material with them when detailed BMP questions arise. Discuss any problems with the site manager or department head. Discuss feasible time frame for corrections. Acknowledge good practices. Check for proper documentation, such as NOI posting, self-inspection records, and SWIP updates. If SWIP updates are an issue, you may wish to recommend that a BMP locational map be developed. Complete the written inspection report while on site. Whether you use hard copy or electronic, you should have a copy for yourself and one to leave on site. Be very specific about the problem and location of the problem. Reference the ordinance or other authority on the report. Note a specific time for corrections and set the expectation for completion of specific elements and/or submittals to verify compliance. The time frame does not necessarily need to be the same as the planned return inspection date. Regardless of the approach, all items must be completed when you return. If the site has egregious violations, you may need to pursue additional compliance or enforcement measures, such as pending stop work order or a violation letter. If you are inspecting in an enforcement capacity, know your enforcement procedure, including the next steps that will be taken. If needed based on a previous inspection, return for a follow-up inspection at the time noted or shortly after time that has been identified for corrective action. It is very important to expect corrections and follow-up so that your position and program will be taken seriously. Note on your inspection report whether corrective actions from the previous report have been resolved satisfactorily. If problems are not corrected in a timely manner, also notify owner and designer. You may also need to pursue additional compliance or enforcement measures. All inspectors must keep current on industry trends and practices as part of their professional development and continuing education. Inspectors are not expected to recommend or fix BMPs or other site issues, but rather to objectively and consistently observe, document, and report. In conclusion, the stormwater quality inspector's role and responsibilities are important ones, since your primary job is to help protect our nation's waters, while keeping them free from sediment and other pollutants.